All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for attending this session. Today, I'm going to talk about the very relevant topic to all of us, right? Remote workforce and how do we secure them? And obviously, this is a topic of debate, discussion from especially since the start of pandemic, when people suddenly moved to work from home environment, and now slowly some companies are asking employees to come back more or less in a hybrid model, and that's why the steps that we had taken immediately to send everybody to work from home environment, there is a scope of correction. How do we ensure that we give the highest level of security to remote users when they're mostly working from home and traveling at the same time, coming to workplace also to work once in a while, right? So for that, Checkpoint developed this portfolio called Harmony. When I said Checkpoint developed the portfolio, it's basically brought all those relevant solutions that Checkpoint had for remote users, their devices, their connectivity, and so on. It brought all those solutions together into one single bucket, one single umbrella called as Harmony. So that is the overall Harmony solution or Harmony portfolio that I'm going to talk about today, and how it would help to secure the problems of the remote workforce. Now, these days we see employees are everywhere. Obviously with pandemic, we have started working from home. We went to our hometown, started working from there. We traveled a lot from holidays, from vacation. We worked. And it's not limited to employees only. Even our contractors, the third party vendors who are connecting to our IT infrastructure, maybe to gain access to a particular application, to a particular section of our infrastructure. Even they are traveling, they are moving, and not necessarily they are connecting from our company's devices. They are mostly connecting from either bring your own devices or their company's devices, which is not necessarily having the same policies, same infrastructure as ours. That's the reality. We work from anywhere. When we say we, employees as well as contractors, we are using any kind of devices. Post-pandemic, many companies could not provide the laptops, and that's why they allowed employees to gain access from their own, bring your own devices, and mobile phones. Accessing email from mobile phone is the very basic thing that everybody likes to have, in this current situation. And on top of it, the applications which are hosted are no longer hosted in our data center, the traditional environment. Now we are hosting applications mostly in the cloud. We are consuming a lot of SaaS-based application from the cloud, and we are browsing internet as such, and we need some pure play internet access as well, right? So this is the new world. This is where employees are working from everywhere, using any kind of a devices and accessing application which could be located in any kind of a location. Now, if you look at these employees or the contractors, they are basically connecting to the internet, connecting to the cloud, be it cloud workloads, the public cloud or the private cloud, or be it consuming software as a service, as a consumption-based model, right? And also they need to connect to their on-premise environment, the data center, sometimes remote desktop, intranet uses, and all that is required. Now, there are multiple solutions which were already proposed to this environment pre-pandemic. Before pandemic, when the work from home situation was more limited, let's say to 10% of the overall environment, having this complex solutions mechanism to solve all these problems probably was okay. We just picked up the best of breed technology from any given OEM, and we started consuming it. As a result, what happened that there are too many solutions in our environment for various kinds of connectivity. For email, we have a separate email security solution. For our laptop, security, we have a separate endpoint security solution. For our connectivity part, we have a separate VPN solution, and so on. And these solutions came from different vendors who are not necessarily talking to each other. Right? Now that we know that, post-pandemic, the world is going to change, we are going to continue working in the hybrid model for some foreseeable future. We need to know how to consolidate and how to simplify our overall, design, overall architecture, so that we have an easy consumption model to provide the highest level of security, a security where every part is talking to each other, right? It's a well integrated security that we are looking for. And for that, Checkpoint came up with Harmony as a portfolio. Now, Harmony as a portfolio is a combination of 6 different solutions. The endpoint security, the VPN access with a zero trust, that is VPN as a service kind of a solution. Then we have a SASE, secure access service edge solution, cloud delivered network security. Basically, we secure emails, we secure browser plugins. So even if you don't have any endpoint security and you just want to secure the access from the browser, we have a security for that as well. And then we are really one of the leading vendors in the mobile security space as well. Securing the mobile, not just managing the mobile. The threat prevention is what we focus on. So what happens basically, we have ensured that all these technologies come together to our customers, right, in a one single unified solution. So we have consolidated these 6 different products for a simple to use model. The management is super critical, security management that we provide from Checkpoint, which is considered as the gold standard as per Gartner. We give a one single unified view to all your access connectivity related problems, right? The security around that. And most importantly, we make it a simple to buy, a commercially a very well-knit package that customers can consume and get benefited out of multiple technologies coming together to solve their all kind of remote user security problems. So that's the motto. Obviously, when we look into the customers that they want to adopt, few customers they see that we can consume solutions one by one, not everything at one go. So we have an option to break these solutions, they break these products into the specific requirement of a customer, their use case that they want to solve. But we see the real benefit is when all these products can be consumed together, and it really takes customers a lot of pain around managing these solutions and getting the best of out of all the security solutions that we have put together. So now let me go into each of the solutions. The question sometimes comes that, why should we consume all the 6 solutions, whether you have market leadership in each of these solutions? The answer is yes, because we position the solutions which are best of breed in each of their own areas. That is why you can consume these solutions by their own. At the same time, consume them as a one single unified package, what we call as Harmony Total. So going by each of these product areas, endpoint security to start off with. Now we have been in the endpoint security space for quite some time, and we have gained leadership. In fact, MITRE ATT&CK framework has continuously evaluated as one of the best endpoint security solution. Although Checkpoint traditionally is known more for a network security firewall space, but our network endpoint security solution is a very, very compelling solution. Now, if you look into the endpoint security era, gone are the days of antivirus. Obviously, nobody is talking about pure play antivirus these days. Antivirus slowly transitioned to next generation antivirus, which basically mean that on top of signature based antivirus, you included the signature less technology, 0-day prevention, behavioral analysis, and so on. And then later it moved to a EDR terminology, right? Endpoint detection and response. That means, if a NGAV, let's say, is giving a protection, a prevention, what if something has still crept in? How quickly we can detect anything that has come in and we remediate it. That is the motto of EDR, right? So net endpoint security is no longer a play of NGAV alone, that is next generation antivirus, or EDR alone, endpoint detection and response. It has to be a combination of both the solutions coming together. And that's exactly what Check Point focuses on with its endpoint solution. We do not segregate NGAV separately, EDR separately. It's a one single complete protection that we focus on. And it's not just limited to NGAV and EDR. We also provide, let's say full disk encryption as a data security solution. We provide a VPN solution on top of it. We provide, host-based firewalls, compliance blades, and so on. That makes this endpoint security solution a really complete level of protection. It has everything that you need in one single unified agent to secure your endpoint. Not just that, from a EDR perspective, we have automated all the attack detection, investigation, and remediation tasks, which basically means that you are getting the fastest recovery when let's say from a threat hunting perspective or a forensics perspective, you get the response a lot faster than any other endpoint solutions that you typically see in the market. So this is something which we are very proud that is a very good capability that we have added into our EDR solution. And then we claim to have best total cost of ownership. I mean, it's just not a claim, it's a fact, because we encourage you not to invest on VPN separately. We encourage you not to invest on encryption separately or any NGAV, EDR, or sometimes, some customers have sandboxing solution also as a separate agent running in their endpoints. We don't encourage all that. We encourage you to consolidate all the agents which are running in your laptops or desktops to secure your endpoints and bring it to one single unified license, which would basically give you a easy management, easy deployment, and easy remediation, runtime activities, and all that, right? So that is why we claim it gives you a best total cost of ownership, because it's not only the cost of the agent, but also the overhead cost in terms of the deployment, the time spent in analyzing the breaches and all that thing. We reduce the manpower for that. As I said, we give basically the 360-degree of endpoint protection, which starts off with reducing the attack surface. We have host-based firewall, compliance, VPN, data security, web protection, and so on, which basically means that the amount of data that is coming in into endpoint, we are already scanning it beforehand whether they need to reach to your endpoint or not. For example, badly reputed IP address, host-based firewall can stop data from coming from a ill-reputed IP address. Compliance blade can decide which information should reach your endpoint or not. And for the information data that has reached your endpoint, we have all these blades from next generation antivirus, anti-malware, zero phishing, sandboxing, content disarm and reconstruction. All these technologies come together to prevent the attack even before it reaches the runtime. And just in case there are some attacks which has reached the runtime, we have our anti-ransomware blade, anti-bot, anti-exploit, behavioral analysis, visibility and remediation. All these technologies come together to give you a full-fledged protection. And this is not just about what features and functionalities we have, but also the uniqueness of the approach that we have to solve the problem. For example, in anti-ransomware, most of the endpoint vendors will claim that they have an anti-ransomware solution. But before anti-ransomware blade uh, turns on and it stops, let's say, a ransomware attack from happening, there could be a chance that there will be still some file which would have got encrypted before the anti-ransomware decided to stop that ransomware attack. Now, those encrypted files can be recovered by Checkpoint and given it back to you. It can be restored for your desktops or laptops. This is something very unique about Checkpoint. Nobody else can do that. It's a unique value proposition. Sandboxing, we are already rated as the best by NSS Labs when it comes to the sandboxing technology. Zero phishing technology, the way we approach anti-phishing with a zero phishing approach is quite unique to the market. Content disarm and reconstruction. Again, this is something that not other OEMs available in the endpoint space can provide in terms of giving you always a clean file by removing the active content and giving you a clean file as always 100% of the time and at a very fast manner. So all these things comes together to make this endpoint one of the strongest solution available in the market, and it's worth testing out. Now, looking into the next solutions, I'm combining the next two solutions, the zero trust access and the cloud delivered network security together. Now, that basically forms our Harmony Connect, which is our SASE based approach, the secure access service edge. Now, we have developed our Harmony Connect Cloud, which basically provides, a lot of security layers from the cloud itself. So if a user is connecting from home, from roadside, or from the branch offices, and they need to gain access to the corporate network, data center, cloud, and so on, we have, we give safe connectivity or safe access to all the corporate applications through our Harmony Connect remote access solution. Similarly, if the user is consuming something from the internet, from the SaaS-based applications, we provide them with the Harmony Connect internet access. It's more designed for the roaming users where, anything you are accessing in the internet, it needs to be always secured. And that security is provided from our cloud, that is Harmony Connect Cloud. Now, with this Harmony Connect, we solve some very basic fundamental use cases of our customers. Number one use case, bring your own device, or our contractors that they are trying to connect to a particular application in our environment, in the organization's corporate network, let's say, right? How do we provide them connectivity, a safe connectivity, without installing an agent? Because it's their own device. We don't have a rights to install an agent in the device which is not owned by the organization. So we give a safe clientless access, a browser-based access to the applications, which the remote users, which are basically third-party contractors, or our bring your own devices employees can gain access to those applications without an agent, of course. Then the second solution is the traditional VPN, but as a service model. Right? When we say VPN as a service, basically our customers found it challenging to scale up the traditional VPN because every time VPN was getting connected to a gateway, and if you have to increase the number of VPN connectivity, you have to consume more, let's say, firewall gateways and stuff like that. And top of it, when somebody has access to the VPN, they basically gain access to the entire network because VPN is giving the access to the entire network. Now organizations have a requirement where they want employees to connect through the VPN, but only gain access to the specific applications which they need to gain access to. And that is something that we are able to provide with a zero trust network access VPN solution. VPN as a service, which is zero trust enabled. So this is our use case number 2. Now both use case 1 and use case 2 are related to access, related to VPN remote access, that is. Then use case number 3 and 4 are more on the internet side of the things, the internet and the SaaS side of the things. Now, typically what happens that, let's say employee has a VPN connectivity, he disconnects the VPN and then he or she basically browses internet. Now, we don't have any control on that internet, the traffic which is flowing in or out of the internet to the internet, right? And how do we secure that traffic? Right, it has to be always secured because it's a company-owned laptop that we have provided, and we expect that no data is getting leaked to the internet, right? Or any malicious activity from internet is not creeping into my company-owned laptop. So for that, we give this solution for the roaming users, use case number 3, where the SASE will be always on. It's an agent which will be running in the endpoint, which will always be on and providing all level of security, be it the firewall, be it the web protection, be it the DLP, be it the DNS level security and browser protection and so on. So a lot of features, around 11, 12 security services that we provide from Harmony Connect is applicable to internet users who are directly connecting to the internet from our managed laptops or company-owned laptops. Now, fourth use case is about branch offices. Branch offices basically, will be either directly connecting through MPLS line, or the modern way is to connect directly from the router, or most of the times is through SD-WANs, right? We secure the SD-WANs traffic as well. So we integrate with the SD-WANs, and the traffic from the branch office flows into the Harmony Connect cloud, and we inspect that traffic before it goes out. So that way we are able to provide a branch office security as well. Now the use case 3 and 4 are part of the internet access solution that we have. So this is a very simple way to explain how we approach with our SASE model and what are the use cases that we are able to solve for our customers with this model. Okay. So I'll move to the next section, which is on the emails, right? Securing emails. Now, emails, if you see from post pandemic, we have been seeing a huge transition of companies moving from on-prem email to the cloud-based email, right? So basically, the O365 or the G Suite are the ones that organizations are consuming as an email platform. Now, if you look at overall way of exchanging messages, we are no longer limited to the emails, the O365 or the G Suite. We are exchanging mails through Microsoft Teams, through OneDrive, through SharePoint, and so on. So there are a lot of collaboration tools that have come into the market where we are exchanging data. And is it secure? Have we ever really given a good thought about it? The answer is no. We need to take care of security of all those SaaS-based collaboration tools, along with the SaaS-based email that we are consuming, right? And safeguard it from phishing attack, ransomware attack, malicious attachments, business email compromise, and so on, right? And for that, we acquired recently a company called Avanan. Now, Avanan is a pioneer in the email and collaboration solution, and Checkpoint has acquired this company, and we have basically broadened their scope out of US market, and now they are very much present in India market. The technology is very much present in the India market thanks to this acquisition, right? So this is Avanan is rated as the best by Gartner in the Peer Insights as the most advanced email security solution for O365 and G Suite and other collaboration tools. Now, how it is different? The main difference is that when we had on-prem email platforms, we use the legacy email gateway solutions, right? LEG, what I'm calling it. Now, legacy email gateway solutions, when the emails move to O365 or G Suite, we continue consuming the legacy email gateway solution. But the fact is, the email gateway solutions that we are consuming doesn't necessarily have the visibility of the cloud, because now your emails are residing on O365, which is a cloud, and your email gateway is a more of an on-prem solution which doesn't have a visibility of the cloud. Right, and that's where there is a problem, right? A lot of first of all, from a visibility point of view, there is a challenge to what's happening in the O365 cloud. Let's say from an internal employee to employee email exchange, which can directly connect to the O365, and internal email exchanges are not necessarily scanned by a email gateway solution. Those fundamental problems are something that customers are getting exposed to. The solution is to probably not use the legacy email gateway, but use the Microsoft's let's say in O365 case, Microsoft's the basic license or the advanced license, the ATP license, right? And we have seen that many customers have moved to the Microsoft level of security, and there is still a scope of emails, a malicious email coming in, and there is a scope of more risk attached even if we have consumed the Microsoft email security. Now, what we are providing with Avanade solution or Checkpoint's email and collaboration solution is a complete integration with O365 or G Suite as a API based model. So we have a built-in AI machine learning which is consumed by the Microsoft Cloud O365 or the G Suite as an API, and from there we don't ask you to replace your Microsoft protection, let's say, but we act as an additional layer of security. So whatever is the level of Microsoft protection you have bought, let it be E1, E3 or E5, we reside on top of it and we provide you the additional layer of security. But of course, there is a scope to remove all that. This security becomes optional because we can standalone provide you a security for your cloud email like no one else, and that's something which is well recognized by our customers, and that's why Gartner rates us so highly on this particular solution. The beauty of this solution is it's not only better security, but time saved is so much, because the MX record continues to stay with the Microsoft, and we are just integrating with Microsoft Cloudly. So deployment, happens in 5 minutes. When I say 5 minutes, obviously when somebody takes us for a POC environment, all we need is some admin with a Microsoft admin access, right? And we just integrate with Microsoft seamlessly, and you start seeing the results immediately about the additional layer of protection that we are able to provide. So that's about email and collaboration. Now, lastly, going to the securing mobile space, and I think this is one area where I see a lot of organizations focusing on MDMs as a solution. Obviously, mobile device management is one way of is a requirement, as a need of the hour, because you need to push policies to the mobile devices, create a container and ensure that the corporate data stays within the container. So all that is great about a MDM solution, but MDM is not a threat prevention solution or a MTP solution. What we provide is a more of a mobile threat prevention solution, which seamlessly integrates with any MDM solution or works as a standalone. Now, what basically a mobile threat prevention solution does is it looks into all the other applications which are even outside the MDM container, right? Any application that has been downloaded by your, let's say your kids, your for your shopping purpose or whatever you have downloaded applications. Any application could be malicious. Any application could be stealing data. We scan through all the applications, and we give a a risk score, a real-time analysis that whatever applications are downloaded in your mobile phone are safe to be consumed and they are not leaking any of the corporate data. Right. We also scan the network through which you are connected. The things like man in the middle attack, right? So a Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi you are connected to, and there could be some malicious activity happening, some man in the middle who is connecting to the Wi-Fi and stealing your data. We protect that, right? Anti-phishing, safe browsing, anti-bot, URL filtering, all these things are by default part of our solution, which you cannot get from a MDM solution as such, right? And lastly, from a OS level, from a device level, also we see vulnerabilities creeping in. There was a recent research by Checkpoint where the Qualcomm processor, which is used in most of the mobile phones, Android phones, we found vulnerability on that, and we reported to Qualcomm, we reported to all the mobile brands, and they are trying to fix it in the newer versions of the mobile phones. But the fact is still there are millions of Android phones lying in the market where this vulnerability can be exposed, exploited, and the mobile phone can be breached. Similarly, jailbroken devices, they can be breached easily. So from all that level, we provide a one single unified protection from applications, protection from the network part, protection from the device and the OS part. So that is what we do as a mobile threat prevention solution, and we are not necessarily a MDM player, but a mobile threat prevention player. Lastly, I wanted to show you the Infinity dashboard, the overall single unified management that we talk about. Now you can see that if you consume all the Harmony portfolio or any other portfolio of Checkpoint, be it the network portfolio, the Quantum, be it the cloud security portfolio, the CloudGuard, you will get one single unified dashboard from where you gain visibility to your endpoint, your email and collaboration tools, your mobile connectivity, your SASE based platform, and to other cloud consumptions that you have done. So this unified management really helps admins to gain a great visibility about the overall security posture and act accordingly from a prevention point of view of any kind of cyber attacks. That's about it. To summarize, we secure any kind of device. So be it the company owned device, the bring your own devices. We secure you from any kind of location. We give you safe access from irrespective of where you're working from, and we allow you access to any kind of application which is hosted anywhere in the world. So with our unified access, endpoint, email security, mobile security solution, we give you one single visibility. Our SASE solution has more of 11 types of security functions coming together to provide you a cloud-based solution for your consumption. And also we can give you clientless solution without installing any agent, especially for your BYOD and the third-party vendors. So this is the easiest way to connect from the remote applications. So that's all from my side when it comes to securing remote access. And I hope this session was useful, and you would definitely find a right way to more of simplify your remote user security, consolidate your environment. And if you like this session, do reach out to me and the Checkpoint team so that we can have a more of a discussion around your business requirements. Thank you so much.
Great,
Great,
Satya.
Satya.
Thanks a
Thanks
lot.
a lot.
I'm getting an echo back. Can you mute yourself? Awesome, great. So I'm sure people would have got good understanding of Checkpoint's Harmony portfolio. So guys, if there are any questions, please raise your hand. I will unmute you and then you can ask your question. I see Mr. Amit has already raised his hand, so I'm going to unmute Mr. Amit. Amitji, go ahead, ask your question now.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Vikas. Thank you, Satyakam, for giving an insight on your Checkpoint Harmony suite of products. My question is specifically on your cloud-based Harmony Connect, which is, as you said, which basically using the approach of defense in depth and zero trust. I wanted to understand, like the scanning for all these controls will be done on your cloud.
That's
on
right.
the fly.
Yes.
Will by any chance my data will be saved on your cloud? Because just wanted to understand from the data privacy perspective, I'm obligated for my employees and my customers that their information should not go outside or their consent has to be taken.
Very valid question, I think, Mr. Amit. That's exactly what most of the customers are looking for. That data should not reside in the cloud. We do scan the data and give the verdict. Just imagine a situation where you have a firewall deployed in your on-prem. The logs are definitely collected by the firewall, but data is not residing in your firewall, right? So now imagine that firewall has moved to the cloud. So you're using the firewall from a cloud consumption, right? So that's the level of security that you're getting in the on-prem with your data not residing in the firewall. Similarly, you will get it from the cloud itself. So firewall is an example. Same thing with the IPS, same thing with the other security solutions which we deliver from the cloud. And the POPs are in India, so the connectivity is a lot faster through India residency POPs.
Sure. One small query, basically on the personal devices of our employees, wherein we will be providing, and you said there is a web-based solution for the people or the employees who are using the personal devices. I just wanted to know, is there any option of enabling a data privacy disclaimer before they started accessing? Because that's not a corporate device, or I need to liaise with my IT or a CIO to get that data privacy disclaimer first time. Thank you.
It can be worked out. We can look into the technical experts on how it can be done, and this can be figured out.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Vikas.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for asking great question. Abhishek Gupta had raised the hand. I had unmuted. Abhishek, do you still want to ask a question or we are good?
Hi, this is Abhishek. I just wanted to know, as you said, you are having an endpoint security, right, in your Harmony platform. So does it work for the servers platforms also?
Yes, it does work for the server platforms also. It's a complete endpoint security solution, which is designed for laptops and desktops, obviously, and it can work on servers, and it can sometimes work for the cloud-based, on the cloud also. Sometimes customers have consumed us as a antivirus on the cloud or a NGV on the cloud.
So okay. So does it work on SUSE environment, SUSE or Red Hat or Linux platform? I must say.
We do support Linux platform as well. Obviously, Linux has its own architectural things for which the functionalities that will work in Windows and functionalities which will work in Linux will be different, but we have Linux solution as well.
Okay, so can we get this product a standalone product rather than the entire bunch of products?
Absolutely.
So
we have various Harmony endpoint.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for answering the question.
Great, Abhishek. Thank you. Anil, go ahead, ask your question, please.
Good morning, Satyakam and Vikas. Thanks for the session. Am I audible?
Yes, Anil.
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. So my question is that in near future, does this checkpoint is going to start device and content encryption through this Harmony also?
when we say device and content encryption, that we have a full disk encryption already as part of our solution of Harmony Endpoint. So that already takes care of it. We also have things like port protection, let's say any other connectivity, Bluetooth connectivity, disabling Bluetooth connectivity and all that. So that is already part of our endpoint solution.
So is it the same solution which you're talking about, or so altogether different solution?
It's the same solution as a part of the Harmony portfolio umbrella. So I give you a very big picture of what all things are covered in Harmony. So one of them is Harmony Endpoint, and within that we have the encryption solution also.
Okay. Great.
So if
Thank
somebody
you.
wants to only consume encryption, that is also possible. So full disk encryption standalone we can provide. So network, although I spoke about the entire story, it can be consumed as on when required. So whatever your use case for that, the particular license you can consume. So that flexibility we provide to a granular level.
Great. Anybody else? I don't see anybody else raising hand. I think there's a question. I saw it popping up. So Rohit is asking a question on chat. Satya, if you could look at the chat and answer that question, please. OK, before that, I see, yeah, Hitesh has raised hand. OK, Hitesh, go ahead, ask your question now. And after that, we'll go to 𝗏𝗂𝗃𝗃. Great. Hitesh, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
So my question is like, I think it is related to the Amit's question probably. So how it is like compatible with the data privacy regulations we have now? India is also going to have its own data privacy regulations shortly. So like the companies which are working in European Union and they are compliant with the GDPR. So I mean, because you are sharing the data, you are processing that particular thing. So how it is compatible with that? And the second question is, does it like, since you have your own firewall, if a customer has a firewall and the endpoint solution, is it going to be a synchronized security approach, or like they are going to work in isolation?
So first of all, answering the question on data privacy, GDPR is something that every organization is trying to adhere to, and Checkpoint absolutely adheres to the GDPR compliance of the European regulation. We are aware of the Indian regulations which are coming in. That's why we are bringing up our own cloud hosted in India itself. So the data resides within India. So that is something that we are already taking care of. And from that perspective, our solution will be well compliant. Coming to the other question on
synchronized security. Yep.
Synchronized security. Yes. So we do work, synchronized with our firewalls and endpoint and all the entire Checkpoint portfolio. We work pretty well with each other. At the same time, we integrate with most of the SIEM platforms, which are basically used as a de facto to do the log analysis and all. And then we have some API driven integration with other OEMs as well. We can discuss with them on that based on your use cases.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great, sounds good. 𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃, go ahead, ask your question now.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, everybody, and thanks, Vikas and Satyam. It's a good session. I would like to understand a little bit more on the ransomware protection, which is talking about on this slide. So what is the different approach you're doing, or what specifically on the ransom? Let's do one.
So if you look at the ransomware attack, the way the technology works, when the ransomware comes, there is a good chance that we identify the attack itself well in advance, and we stop it with our NGAV blade, that next generation antivirus blades, right? And sometimes the ransomware attacks do come away from there, and they start acting on the endpoint itself. And typically a ransomware, what it does, it encrypts the data, right? It will encrypt the data. It will say you that you pay the money, then only I'll give you the decryption key, right? So all the anti-ransomware solutions are designed that way, that if the antivirus blade is not able to detect the ransomware and it has started encrypting the data, we stop that by identifying it as a ransomware. And that's a standard solution. Everybody has that. The challenge is that before an anti-ransomware blade gets turned on and it stops an attack, there will be some file which would have got encrypted, because the anti-ransomware blade needs time to understand whether it's a ransomware or it's a legitimate encryption. So by the time it understands, there is already few files which have got encrypted. And the anti-ransomware players have become so smart that they first identify the crown jewel in your laptop and they start the encryption from those crown jewel data itself. That means that even if anti-ransomware stops and safeguards your 95% of the data, the 5% of the data which has got encrypted before they stop it could be your crown jewel. And that's a concern, right? You need to recover your crown jewel, whatever has got encrypted, even if it's 5%. And that is what Check Point is able to provide. It is able to restore all your data that has got encrypted before an anti-ransomware blade has come in and stopped that attack, right? So this makes our solution was one of the best when it comes to anti-ransomware solution. I can't name the competitions, but there are popular endpoint vendors that have got breached with anti-ransomware, and customers have come and used Check Point and it has detected the same ransomware. There have been customers where 50% of the laptops were secured by a Check Point, 50% with a other popular OEM, and those 50% got impacted, but the Check Point laptops were all safeguarded. And I've seen at least 3-4 examples in this 1 year on that. So I'm very confident that our anti-ransomware blade works very effectively on the ransomware.
Okay, so it's basically the next gen, the malware detection is a core area for focus, and then if at all the file encryption triggers, that's the second indicator. I mean, in between the ransomware penetration and then the encrypting the crown jewels, there is likelihood of the data exfiltration. So anything that you guys focus on the exfiltration standpoint before being encrypted, because encryption is the last phase of the ransomware before the ransom is demanded.
Yes.
Right, but the exfiltration is the immediate first step after the successful deployment of stealth ransom. So what is the focus on the stealth side of it? Sorry, exfiltration.
If you look at our metrics, right, we are the anti-ransomware blade triggers in the runtime. As you said, the exfiltration can happen before the runtime. And we have all these blades enabled before the runtime itself, with the next generation antivirus, with the sandboxing solution, with the behavioral analysis solutions, and other technologies, URL filtering, anti-phishing, and all that comes in. We are able to detect this kind of attack, even anti-bot solution. We are able to detect this kind of attack much before. So anti-ransomware blade, which comes in the runtime, probably gets triggered it only when the encryption starts as a concept. But before that itself, there are various other layers which is stopping this exfiltration from happening.
Got it. Thank you.
Great. Let's take the last question from Mr. Anirudh. Anirudh, go ahead, ask your question, please. Mr. Anirudh, you are on. Ask your question, please.
Yeah,
great, go ahead.
Thanks a lot for this session. It was really informative.
Thank you.
And my question is, ransomware protection is something I understood. But a lot of times, a lot of our data is also uploaded before the ransomware actually hits our system, because the ransomware bot is actually sitting within the system for a long time. The locking only happens after a lot of data has been already uploaded. Now, how do I check if that data is not getting uploaded? And is there any control over there on my specific data which is already gone, or the quantum of data that is gone? And in case in the future my data is being used somewhere, is there any mechanism or is there any solution which you have to track such kind of situations?
So that's where the threat hunting, the EDR capabilities come into play, right? With the threat hunting mechanism, we are able to do a complete forensics of where the data is, whether it has been exfiltrated, why it is getting exfiltrated, and remediate it, basically stop it. So all those blades, the threat hunting, for example, is something which is very fundamental to endpoint protection, and it's available in our basic licenses itself. So behavioral analysis, threat hunting, and all those blades come into play. And anti-bot, obviously, as you said, the bot is in the system for longer time. So anti-bot has already played its role to stop such attacks. So the various blades come across to stop the exfiltration, and even if there is exfiltration, to track the exfiltration, from where the data has got leaked and what is the impact and how it can be remediated. Obviously, after it has reached the web, it's a deep web mechanism that comes into play to see what kind of activity is happening with the data which is already there in the web. But that's out of scope basically of the Harmony. But we do stop exfiltration from happening, and even if anything has happened, we are able to do the behavioral analysis and tell you that from where and how the data is leaked, what is the trend and all that.
Great. I think we can take one short question and short answer, please, Satya. So Brian, Mr. Brian Parekh, go ahead, ask your question now. I've unmuted you.
Hi, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah. What is the frequency for releasing a new feature or version?
These days in the software world, it's quite evident that the versions keeps getting updated on like monthly, twice a month. Sometimes it keeps getting updated. So it all depends on how you have done the implementation. If it's a cloud-based implementation, everything gets updated on the go itself. If it's a on-prem based implementation, then you have scheduled your own time frame when you want to update the versions. So all that flexibility we give to the customers, how they want to consume that updated versions.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Sounds good. So I think we are bang on time today, 11:57, just last couple of bits. So great session, Satya. Really appreciate that. So guys, the certificate that you see on the screen, how do you download that? All you got to do is go to EliteCISOs website, click on events, click on upcoming events. You will come to this page. Click on CP certificate. This will take you to a Google form. Put your email address, put your full name. And the secret to download the certificate, as I put in the chat as well, is Pune. Okay, P-U-N-A, the city name Pune is the password to download the certificate. Now you can ask, or you may ask, why Pune? Because with Checkpoint, we are doing a physical event in Pune on 10th of June, which is Friday. So as the COVID situation is getting better and the infection rates are going down, we are doing a lot of physical events. In fact, last week we did 2 physical events in Delhi NCR for Delhi NCR members. One was with Checkpoint, another one with Thales. So we are continuing. We are doing multiple events across India. In fact, before 10th, we have an event coming up in Chennai on 5th of June. Again, that's our Elite Fitness event. But this one is a very first event in Pune. So if you are a CIO CISO joining us from Pune, I welcome you guys to go ahead and register for it. It's going to be an amazing event. We are planning a lot of entertainment activities as well. So we'll have a tech session, we'll have a short panel, and we'll have some entertainment as well. It might be a stand-up comedian or a musical night. So go ahead, guys. The registrations are open for physical events, so you can go ahead and register for it. Once you are here to register, you might want to register for next week webinar with Netskope. So as I mentioned that every week we bring different partners and different vendors and talk about different technology. So SASE has been a hot cake, I may say. Since the lockdown, we have invited a lot of partners and great speakers to talk about SASE. So again, next week we'll have Michael joining us from Australia. He's with Netscope, and I think we hosted him previously as well on Elite CISO platform. Amazing speaker. So go ahead, guys, and register for it as well. Last but not the least, the Wheel of Fortune. So we got about 300 registration for this session. After filtering a little bit, all the Gmails and the personal email IDs have been removed. We have about 286 entries. There are 3 Wheel of Fortune giveaways, and we'll be sending sound bars. May I request 𝗦𝗲𝗰𝗂𝗏 from Delhi chapter to please monitor the chat. When I spin, if anybody says yes, they are there in the session, please monitor that. So I'll spin it 3 times, one for everyone who registered, and second and third lot would be for people who support Elite CISO on LinkedIn by liking and responding to the post that we make. OK, so out of 286, we will pick one and we'll see how many are there for the LinkedIn post Wheel of Fortune. OK, so if your name comes, guys, go to the chat and say yes. I'm spinning it now. OK, so the first one goes to Mr. Chetan Manjurekar. Mr. Chetan, if you are there in the session, please go to the chat and say yes. Manish bhai, please monitor it. Now I'm going to remove all of these names and I'm going to put only the folks who support Elite CISO on LinkedIn, right? So these are the names. It is 101 people interacted with the LinkedIn post for this session. So you can see how, how cleaner it looks as compared to the previous one. So I'm going to spin it for the second one. Let's see if your name comes out there. So the second one goes to Lalit Mohan Shah. Lalit, if you are there in the session, go to the chat and say yes. OK, I'm spinning it for the third one now. And the third one goes to Mr. Prakash Kumar Ranjan, my very good friend and member of Bangalore chapter. So Pankaj, if you are there, Prakash, if you are there, go to the chat and say yes. That's about it. Last one thing I want to mention, since a lot of new people have joined today. So Elite CISO, we have got chapters across India, Delhi, NCR, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Chennai, Kerala. There are a lot of chapters out there. So if you are CIO and CISO and you are not member of Elite CISO WhatsApp group, I encourage you guys to apply for membership. There's a lot of collaboration and interaction happens in the WhatsApp group. So, but it is only for CIO and CISO. So if you are partner, vendor or consultant, I'm sorry, you can participate in the events, but we cannot add you in the group. With that, thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. Looking forward to see you guys next week on Thursday. Thank you, Satya. Thanks, Checkpoint team. Bye for now. And we'll monitor who won, right? So I'll check with Manish and we'll monitor the chat who won, and then we will sync offline and deliver your Wheel of Fortune win. That is soundbar. Thank you, guys. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.